Well, look, a lot of it depends on the matchups. If either of these teams meets Milwaukee or Philadelphia in the first round, and both of them actually could, even though the Nets could be the 8th seed and Boston may be 5th or 4th, they could both meet Milwaukee or Philadelphia in the first round. I would pick Milwaukee or Philadelphia over either of these teams. But to answer the question, just kind of throwing it out there, I'm going to go with Boston. And I know that'll probably be surprising to some people because Brooklyn's got the best player, obviously, on the two teams, and that being Kevin Durant. But there's just too many questions about the Nets, period. I mean, we still don't know if Kyrie Irving is going to be able to play home games at any point this season or postseason. And it's kind of looking like, no, we thought, oh, here it comes. And now it's like, maybe not. So there's that. And then secondly, Ben Simmons, when is he coming back? Is he coming back this season? And if he does come back, where will his head space be? So those are serious questions. And I thought yesterday it showed. Now I know the Nets' numbers offensively look pretty good. But I thought it was a lot of the offense was disjointed because of the lack of continuity with Kyrie having played in a while, just because they had been at home, right? So there was a lot of one-on-one with Kyrie, a lot of him over-dribbling. Now, Boston's defense kind of forces ISO play, but I just thought it looked very disjointed, and that's probably how it will be just because of the lack of continuity and chemistry because he's not there. That's why I think they'll be better next year. Boston, on the other hand, Nick, best defense in the league since January 1st. And really, arguably all year, they've been the best. They're second best in the league, officially. And offensively, remember when Marcus Smart said months ago, oh, Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum don't pass. Well, now they do. Last 3 months, the turnaround is not, everybody's focused on their defense. The defense has been pretty good all year. The turnaround is the offense. They're now getting more passes, moving the ball more, and that's opening it up for Tatum. So I think Boston is dangerous, and not to get to the finals, but a dangerous team in the Eastern Conference.
No. Boston is right where they are most comfortable over the last 30 years, aside from the brief time Kevin Garnett saved them, which is, frisky. Look out for them next year. The Celtics, the bright future, to steal a line from Kevin O'Connor, the bright future Celtics. It's always around the corner. Because here's the reason the answer is the Nets is very simple. Kevin Durant. And you listen, I am not a believer in the Nets. However, if we're talking about can Kevin Durant go inferno for a round and beat a better team? Yes. Can the Celtics? No. Because I understand that it is not always like this, and I understand that a lot of the smarter NBA folks like to pretend this isn't the case, usually in their explanations as to why allegedly great MVPs don't win, a playoff series or something. However, if you have the best player on the court, usually win the series. And Boston Wilds, if they play Philly, will they have the best player on the court? Nope. If they play Milwaukee, would they have the best player on the court? Nope. If they were to play Brooklyn, would they have the best player on the court? Nope. I dare you to go against Jimmy Butler. That's your guy. That is your guy, Jimmy Butler. And this year, this moment, if they play Chicago, do they have the best player on the court? Flip a coin. You want DeRozan or Tatum? I think it's we can't. Right before vacation, we're talking about DeRozan might win MVP. We can't then be like, but Jayson Tatum dropped 54.
We weren't really talking about that.
Oh, we were.
We were talking about being in the conversation.
And so in the conversation. And the conversation matters. Mahomes was in the conversation. I like conversations. Whether you admit it or not, this show is built on conversations. As long as they're not about the Phoenix Suns, it's built on conversations.
Only a conversation.
So, Wilds, because of Kevin Durant, the answer is the Nets. It's very simple. It's the Nets. The Celtics, it's a nice little turnaround. And listen, next year there'll be a frisky pick. And you can go on your podcast with Simmons, and he can tell you about how good they're going to be. But nobody. Sorry.
You know, I'm a calendar year guy. So maybe next year is this year. 2022. Can we show the graphic there, Dusty? 2022, Broussard. Ooh, Celtics looking good. Like you said, #1 defensive rating, #1 net rating. Here's the other thing, and this speaks right to Broussard's heart. You know what Broussard loves more than a well-tied tie? He loves consistency and chemistry. Broussard, Tatum and Brown this year, 47 games together. You know how many games Kyrie and KD have played in their entirety? So I think the consistency that we've been waiting for, like, oh, you're starting to see it with the Celtics. Maybe they just had a nice little weathering period, and all of a sudden, new coach and Tatum and Brown have figured it out. And finally, like, I'm not willing just to say, and I don't think Jayson Tatum is either, after averaging 41 points the last 3 games, that he's all of a sudden has to take a back seat to guys, although I love him, Jimmy Butler and DeMar DeRozan. I think he thinks that he can play with anybody. And I think yesterday was a response a little bit to LeBron. When one guy has a big game in the league, it's interesting to see the other superstars say, you know what? I'm going to have a big game. Ooh, I'm going to have a big. If LeBron had a big game, I'm going to have a big game. I think Tatum thinks he's right there. He's a superstar. He scored 54 points on national television. We can't call him a superstar? Sorry, Broussard.
Go ahead. We will get to that, Wiles. We will get to that. But Nick, look, that was a nice, cute take. Oh, the best player always wins. Nah. LeBron has lost 6 times in the finals as the best player. Maybe the one time when he lost to Tim Duncan, he wasn't the best player in the first, as in 07, maybe. But outside of that, he's lost. Kevin Durant, how many times did he lose in the playoffs as the best player if he didn't have Russell Westbrook? I don't think they got past the second round when Westbrook was hurt, with KD in Oklahoma City. We know he gave up a 3-1 lead to Golden State as the best player in the Western Conference Finals. So that's cute for the unlearned, but you can't. No,
but that's not true.
That stuff, so
hold on, that's just not true. The year they lost to Golden State, everyone was saying Steph was the best player in the world. No, hold on. Everyone was saying Steph was the best player in the world. He was the unanimous MVP. I just know he was the unanimous MVP. So maybe even set LeBron outside of it. No one was arguing Durant was better than Steph that year. But you agree with my general point, Brew. Of course, there are times where if one team has the best player and the next team has the second, third, and fourth best players, then the team with the best player is going to lose. The problem for Boston is that is flatly not the case.
2 and 3?
That against
they don't have 2 and 3?
So I think they have 2 and 3. I'm very surprised to hear you put Jaylen Brown ahead of Kyrie Irving.
Well, because I don't know where Kyrie's going to be. That's my problem. Okay, I don't know where Kyrie's going to be. Is he going to be playing? Is he going to be watching?
But even if that's the case, then Brooklyn would have 1, Boston would have 2 and 3, and Brooklyn would have 4 and 5, and Kyrie and Ben Simmons. Like, it's not like Boston has this amazing roster. What Boston has is 2 very good players. Not great players, very good players. And like you said, we can talk about Tatum later. Your guys' superstars thing, it's like the worst nightclub in the city. Everybody in. You're walking by the street. You guys are on the. My superstar club has a velvet rope and big bouncers. You guys are handing out flyers.
I can't go to Nick's
saying
club.
2-for-1 drinks.
I can't go to Nick's
Please
club.
come in. The DJ's amazing.
With a block party,
it's
Nick.
terrible.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.